Hello everybody from a glorious sunny South London. I'm at a beautiful little park called Norwood Grove, and I thought I would, on this hot day, take a moment to share with you one of my favourite episodes from Scottish history. So this is a true story, it's nuts, it's bizarre. Did it happen? Who knows? Did any history happen? And it's a wonderful tale. The year was 1544. The setting, the banks of Loch Lochy. My favourite loch in Scotland, one because it's absolutely stunning, but two because of its ridiculous name. Can you imagine the naming committee? I don't know, this is the sort of Bronze Age Celtic era. You've got a group of people sat around a table and they've sort of just decided, yes, we'll have Loch Lomond on the west coast. Loch Ness up there. Oh, yes, after the monster, Nessie. Yes, very good. And what are we going to call this one? And the point will become Loch Lochy. And you've got a young Celt who's sort of there up and coming. She's done a whiz with the latest sort of whatever Bronze Age versions of PowerPoint are. She's looking good. She's going to get a promotion soon. And she says, I've got it. It's going to be Loch Lochy. Because it's kind of like a loch. It's a bit locky. And they said, yeah, that'll go. That's great. You are in mind for big things. And so Loch Lochy was named. And basically, the year 1544, two clans were warring over the narrow strip of land on the side of it, very fertile land. The Highlands, famously not very fertile. They needed this land. They went to war. You may be thinking, but the Scots, they only ever fought the English. No. When we didn't have time to fight the English or nothing else was going on, we'd fight each other. We just loved fighting so much. The two armies faced off against each other, and they were wearing distinctive shirts and their distinctive tartans to identify themselves. And it was a very, very hot day. Temperatures would have soared into the low 20s, which by Scottish standards is melting point. 23 degrees is the melting point of a Scottish person. And their soldiers were struggling. They could barely even swing their swords at each other to kill each other. Nobody was dying. The only thing that was going to kill them off was heat exhaustion. So the generals called them back in, saying, Men, come back now. You're all clearly very tired. And there's no point in having this. The sun is at its peak in the sky. Why not go play in the waters of Loch Lochy, bathe in the waters of Loch Lochy, and then when the sun's gone down a bit, you can resume the battle. The men were overjoyed at the idea. They stripped off into the nude, penises were everywhere, and they charged out into the water going, and they were having the best time ever. They were splashing each other, they were having little sword fights, and they had gone from killing each other to being very firm friends. Well, I don't know about that, but you'd like to think so. Eventually, the sun dipped down to an appreciable level, and the general said, Men, come back now. You have to be back now. Men, Gerald, put that man down. What are you doing, Gerald? He's on the opposition. Right, okay, time to go back to fighting. And the men said, but General, it's so hot. We could not possibly be fighting in this terrible heat. The general said, okay, only put your shirts back on. That way your bottom half will be nice and cool. And so that's what happened. To make sure they knew which team they were on, both sides put on their respective shirts but left their tartans off. This meant that everything was exposed. Now, I've never gone into battle with sharp objects, but I think if I did, the last thing I would want to be exposed was my little self flying here, there and everywhere. It was quite the fight, and it actually ended in a draw, if the historical sources are to be believed. So it was all for nothing. And that is one of my favourite little anecdotes from Scottish history. A ludicrous thing that probably happened, wonders of the past, on this glorious hot summer's day. And it made me think of that hot summer's day back in 1544 by the banks of Loch Lochy. Have a lovely day, everyone. I'm just closing this bit. Have a lovely day. It was great to see you all. I hope you're enjoying the sun if it's out. And goodbye.